sink plunk. All right. Okay, this is going to be possibly the least professional video I have made in some time because I've only just walked through the door of the Airbnb where I'm staying in Sydney to do some maths shows. You should be able to hear me all right there. I'm just making sure I'm recording this. So I thought it would be nice before I've done anything, I'll pop on a mic, set the camera going, and I'm going to open my suitcases, which I've just lugged all the way from the UK. So let's, we're going to do, it's a kind of an unboxing. We're going to do a Patreon exclusive unboxing of my own suitcases. So I'll just declutter this one, rubbish. I'll pop it over here. And if I put, actually if I move these out of the way, oh, look at that. That's perfect opening suitcase material. I'll put it, okay, and I'll just grab the other one. Come on, tripod, you can do this. Okay, so there's one, and then over here is possibly, oh my goodness, that's front heavy, the main event. So the sink is in these somewhere, and I have no idea what condition it is in. So let's do, should we do this one first? Okay, so I can hear rattling in there. If it's a busted sink, I'm going to be so upset. So we'll see. Oh, come on. I hate these things on the suitcases. Okay, here we go. So this is, here we go. Let's see. Suitcase number 1. Get rid of all that rubbish. And we have, come on, don't be bits of sink. Oh, that's the wrong zip. Be a whole sink. Here we go, here we go. I can see there's some serious damage there. And, okay, so far so good. Let's just check. I've got a calculator in there, of course. Let's make sure my Casio has survived intact. We'll just turn that on. Oh, okay, so it looks like it's still in functioning. Root 2 still equals root 2, so that's all working. I always make sure I have a calculator right at the top of the case in case you need to get to it quickly. So, okay, there's definitely some damage. Okay, hang on, that's, there's the pipe that goes underneath the sink. This is my clothing I use to try and wrap things up around it. In here, what have we got in here? This should be the taps. Okay, so the taps have arrived complete. There, okay, there's one tap. There's the other tap. Oh, don't be broken. This is some of the plumbing stuff that I made. I can go through that later if you're curious for repairs. And more clothes, more repairs. I've packed as my tripod, so I had to bring exactly the same tripod that I used in London. I wouldn't normally travel with this, but there you go. Now, okay, there's the damage, but let's get the let's get the literal, I've brought the sink with me. Oh, I can feel more damage over there. Come on, sink. Okay, very carefully. Let's get it up, and let's see if it's still in good enough nick for the second half of this video. I wish I could have seen the customs guys and the security guys when they x-rayed this. Okay, there's the sink out. And we'll move now. That's all that was in that case. Okay, there's the towel. That was padding. Shall we let's open the sink up this way, shall we? Okay, that's facing the standard sink direction. Come on. Okay, I also put the water baffling device is stored in here. It looks, okay, it looks like a sink. Oh my goodness, this might just work. There it is. It looks fine. What can I hear rattling around? It's a perfectly good sink. I genuinely just flown a sink from the UK to Australia. Let's take out, I'd take this in just for safety purposes. I'll remove that a little bit more carefully. There we go. God, it's a mess. This sink, before I got it, so I bought the sink off someone who, they'd bought it thinking they'd use it in a remodeling they were doing of their house, not that far from where I live. And they put it on eBay for like £5. So I bought it off them, but they've been storing it outside. And so no matter how hard I clean this, there's so many little like gaps in the porcelain, like it's hollow. And it's just full of dirt. Oh, I can see a chip of porcelain, okay. Okay, so that's pretty much okay. Let's put that over there for a second. And yeah, there's definitely chips of porcelain. Let's make a little pile over there, okay. If anyone wants a chip, let me know afterwards. I'll sell them as souvenirs. Okay. Oh, that's what's... Okay, I don't think that's irreversible. Will it make a difference to the flow? Okay, I'll show you what's happened. So if I swing this around, it will broken the base. So this used to be a, you know what, let's bring that in here. Okay, so that makes it not at all clearer. This used to be a full, I'm trying to hold the camera and, okay, this used to be a full circle of porcelain and this whole thing was covered. That's like the overflow there. So look how disgusting it is under here. Who stores a sink in the garden, right? So there's the overflow from when the sink gets too, oh, let's not look up there. And then it comes into here. So all the bits are over there. So possibly I could try and put them back together. Let's pop this down a second. So what's making me a little bit nervous about the fact that this is broken is that is what part of my fixing goes on to. So let's pop you there for a second. This is the kind of plumbing attachment that I built. I taped it up because this is what I was worried would get damaged. I thought, porcelain sink, that'll be fine. Okay, so, I see this blue tape in my dreams. Okay, so there's the plug hole with the choke on it, as you'll remember from the video. And then this is like the second half of that. So this is the bit that would normally go under the sink like that. This is where the tube would come in from your overflow, because this is an old-fashioned sink, so it's actually built into the porcelain, whereas this, you had to attach it. In fact, this is what the overflow tube would normally be. So that would go up there to your overflow point, like at the top of the sink, and then it would come down here to the drain, and then your normal pipe would go out the bottom there. But what I've done is, instead of this coming down, I'll get in there. It's just a friction fit this. Okay, so instead of this coming down as the overflow, I've reorientated that to be the main out. And under here, I've got, actually I took a bit of footage before I put the gaffer all over it. I've just cable tied a plug. I cut a plug down to the right size and cable tied it in there. Oh, you can see it. There you go, down the top. Right, so I assume you can see in there, there's a plug stopping it, and so the water has to go out this. And then this forms a seal there, but then this has to go right up against there, and it makes a seal on this bit, and then the screw is a fair way down, then the screw reaches right through here, and then there's a thread in the middle there, and then you tighten that and it locks it off. And it's, it's maybe about, that far apart-ish. But if that's broken, I'm not going to get the perfect seal. But it doesn't have to be a perfect seal, right? Because it's going to be a sink in a park. I reckon either I can reassemble enough of it and glue it back together that it's still enough of structural, because this is still solid, to be able to attach this to it, or I can just fake it, like I'll rebuild it out of cardboard. It's something that would just survive an hour or two, and this will hold in place, and that will just keep the water in. So worst case scenario, it can drip water down the back. It's fine. Okay, so that's not as bad as it could be. Okay, so let's go on to case number 2. So over here, this is case number 2. You know what? I will drag that a little bit closer. Let's reset my phone there. Okay, here we go. So, case number 2. What have we got in case number 2? I'm moving my clothes out of the way. And we have, okay, so first of all, let's check the calculator. Okay, so there it is, there's the calculator. I brought the watch, of course. You don't want to be carrying a full calculator with you when you're doing guerrilla filming with a sync, right? So this is for home leisurely use. And then I got this bad boy for when I'm out and about doing my filming on the street. So pop them over there. Right, I brought the actual bottles. So I was like, well, why not? Because if I bring the real bottles, first of all, they're the perfect size. The sink is exactly 5 liters. And I just think it's funny that I'm using the same bottles in both shots. Okay, got those. Wash bag, other filming. Oh, my underwear. Okay, so I'm going to have to censor this afterwards. Genuinely, my pants, socks, and... Okay, right, hang on. Let's put them out of shot over... Oh, goodness, how embarrassing. Oh, wow, I really didn't... I should have thought this through when I was packing. Oh, it'd be a fun thing to show my opening. Okay, right, let's go there. Okay, right, that's probably everything embarrassing out of the way. So now you can see it again. Let's get down to the sink. So, shoes, belts, more pants... More shoes, my actual travel tripod, a hat, everything else. Oh, here we go. Some of you, if you've seen a lot of my live work, you will know this is the binary scarf. There you are. That's my active, it's in my book, and I use this a lot. I have actually, I talk about this on stage, and I will put some footage on YouTube eventually of me talking about this scarf. I love it. And I'm in Sydney doing some educational shows for high school kids, and then later on I'm hosting a conference for people who use TM1 database Excel-like software. And so I brought my scarf to talk to them about that. I suspect they'll love it. Okay, so here, this is not damaged at all. All right, so there is the plinth that goes under the sink. And this is where I may have gone a little bit overboard because you can't even really see it in the shot. So the main shot when we filmed in London, you can't see the plinth, but I was, you know what? I'm not one to not bring a 8-kilogram plinth with me just because it's mildly inconvenient and it's not even in shot. I'm bringing it. So the way the sink, you know what, let's put the sink together. So let's do some sink assembly. Oh, what a boring shot. We can make that more exciting with a sink. So there's the plinth, it goes there. And then here's what's left of the sink. Make sure I don't lose any of the bits. So then that goes on there. All right, and there's have sink will travel. Look at that. Put that from the water. And then all the crap just kind of attaches on the back, and that's it. There's the sink. So there it is. That's my portable sink. And then I just attach everything onto here. So the plug hole goes in, I put the taps on because they're hilarious. And then down the back here, you can see this is where the smashed, this should all be, I'll fix that. Oh, God, what I touched that for? All right, and then the pipe comes down and there's like a bottle set down here somewhere. And then it'll just fill through. So there you are, that's the let's have a sink shot to finish with. There we go. Thank you for being here while I unpack in Sydney. I'm going to, I think it's balanced. I think it's rocking gently. Sorry if you're feeling a bit seasick. So, yeah, right, I've just had a 23-hour long-haul flight. So now I've actually unpacked my clothes. I'm gonna go have a shower, clean up. I'm gonna go buy whatever kind of glue you need to reassemble porcelain. So I'll do like a jigsaw puzzle reassembly. No, that's, okay, well, I've just realized I was gonna, like, because I don't want to waste the sink, right? So I was going to put it on eBay, like, you know, come and get a sink, you know, free sink. But I can just put the pedestal, I might have to chuck it. That's a real shame. And it only cost me £5, but it still feels like a waste of a sink. Oh well, I'll chuck it. It's had a good life, this sink. So I'm going to glue all this back together, put it on there, and the next couple of days, my mate Simon is going to give me a hand filming this, and Trent, who's in a lot of my videos. We did the filming in London together previously. So, oh, I should say, of course, thank you so much for your support that makes all of this possible. I'm out in Sydney doing unrelated work, right? So like I said, I'm doing mass inspiration shows with high school kids and then a conference who are paying for my trip to come out here and do all their stuff. And when I realized I was being flown out and that I realized my ticket, I could get 2 suitcases, that's when I got thinking, well, I don't want to waste a suitcase. And I've always wanted to do the sink in both hemispheres routine. And so what you guys have made possible is partly just the fact that now I can dedicate more of my time to working on the channel. And I'm gradually clearing more and more time to be able to do that. And just the fact that because of the support I have this channel with regular videos, which technically counts as part of my job now, I can do stuff like this. When it occurs to me, I can do it. And your funding is helpful because, first of all, the sink costs £5. And secondly, the filming for this is obviously a bit complicated, and when I'm filming in public, I need people helping me. And so again, I've brought in Trunkman Productions to give me a hand with the editing and processing it and everything there. So that's what you guys make possible, right? I've now got a whole system of people and stuff in place, so when I want to take a sink to 2 different hemispheres, I can. And that's largely your fault. So that's it from me. I'm gonna go clean up. Again, I hope you enjoy. I hope the finished product is worth it. Footnote, it's later on in the same day, and I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit proud of that. Check it out. It's a long way from perfect, but I got all the major big bits together. There's a little bit of sellotape holding a few bits, but it's all glued in place, and while it may not be perfectly watertight, I have some more bigger, slightly more serious tape that I'll put on it. I'll let it set overnight and then I'll tape it up properly tomorrow right before I film with it. And you know, all things considered, that's not a bad repair job, given I used some Clear Quick Grip adhesive, which is probably not up to the job because, well, it does list ceramics in its list there at the very, very end of the list after everything else. So after it's finished bonding glass, metal, wood, canvas, paper, cardboard, leather, vinyl, finally it will glue some ceramics. So we'll see how it holds up.